Hi, so I thought I'd just give you a quick update on the cookalong that's happening this Friday, the 4th of November at 6:30 p.m. GMT, Universal Time, with the French Room. And you would have received an email about this. So the live French cookalong. There's the timing for you. Some reasons to do the cookalong. It's just really good. It's a really good place to practice your French, and it's completely immersive. And how many opportunities do you get to be completely immersive without actually traveling to France? That's what we all try, that we all know that being completely immersed in the language is the way that we make the most progress. And, we enjoy all of the efforts we put in as well. Some reasons that you might put up to not come. You might not think that your cooking's good enough. Well, it's not really about the cooking. Of course, we want you to enjoy the food that you eat and the process and come out with a good result, but it's not really about the cooking. It's about the whole experience. So, no one's judging your cooking. You're the only one who's going to have to eat your cooking or even see it. You don't have to share it with anyone. So that's not a reason. What if I don't understand? Well, I'm going to give you some information now that's going to help you prepare for it. And if you didn't understand, well, what's the problem really? It's not the end of the world, is it? You're still going to get the experience. And if you were in France and you were in a real French speaking situation, you're not going to understand every word. So set yourself a target. I'm going to understand 10%, 20%, 50%, wherever you are in terms of your French learning journey. Just set yourself a reasonable target and then just go along and enjoy it as an immersive experience. What if you're cooking something I don't like or I don't eat? Well, feel free to modify the recipe. And then, of course, if you want to, you don't have to cook this recipe at all. You can cook something entirely different, or you can just come along and watch. But it's much more fun if you get involved. And it's a much bigger test for yourself. Now, we're very, very lucky. This is Justine. She lives in Nantes, in La Loire region of France. And I've known Justine for about the last 5 years, and she gets involved in all sorts of things with the French Room. She's passionate about French cooking, and she's the one who leads each of our cooking demonstrations. All the recipes are specifically intended to be simple, and they come from these books by Cyril Lignac, who some of you may know as the judge chef from Le Meilleur Pâtissier, which is the French equivalent of the Great British Bake Off. And he brought out 4 books called Fait Maison during lockdown, and they're just full of really straightforward, simple, very accessible French recipes. And I'd recommend you get the books anyway, they're very good. So what are we cooking on Friday? We're cooking galette de pommes de terre, followed by obviously a lovely, delicious dessert, biscuit coulon au chocolat. Okay, and like I said, feel free to replace any ingredients that you can't eat or don't fancy. So let's have a look at the recipes themselves. This is good preparation. So the first course is galette de pommes de terre, salade de roquette et tomate. Okay, so it's kind of a crepe, I suppose, potato. And, it's got rocket in it and tomatoes. If you don't like rocket and tomatoes, you can make a different kind of salad or drop the salad altogether. Okay, temps de préparation, time it takes to prepare, 30 minutes. Temps de cuisson, 20 minutes. So time it takes to cook, 20 minutes. Now this recipe, c'est pour 4 personnes. This is a mistake that I make every single time. I live on my own and I always cook recipes for 4 people when I do the cook along. So obviously you can modify your quantities based on the number of people who are going to eat it, or you could, if you're like me and you live on your own, you could batch cook, and perhaps come back to some of this. So what have we got in here? So 150 grammes de pommes de terre, so potatoes, 130 grammes de fromage emmental, gruyère, ou parmesan. Okay, so you've got your cheese, you've got your French cheeses there, or Swiss cheeses. 4 centilitres de crème liquide entière. Now careful, because we've come across with this before. 4 centiliters, that's 40 milliliters of single cream, full single cream. 40 grammes de farine, flour, un œuf, you pronounce the F on a single egg, et un jaune, so one yolk and one egg, 200 grammes de roquette, 100 grammes de tomates cerises, cherry tomatoes, 4 cuillères à soupe, so dessert spoons, I guess, d'huile d'olive, olive oil, et un tray pour la cuisson, so that's just a little tiny bit for the frying pan. 2 cuillères à soupe, that's short for cuillère, by the way. So 2 dessert spoons de vinaigre balsamique blanc ou de vinaigre au choix. So 2 dessert spoons of whichever vinegar you like. Gros sel is cooking salt, sel fin et poivre du moulin is seasoning. Okay, étape 1. So étape is a stage or a step. Épluche les pommes de terre, coupe-les en dés, rince-les, puis mets-les à cuire dans une casserole d'eau bouillante avec du gros sel pendant 12 minutes. So peel your potatoes, cut them up into little bits, little pieces, rinse them, and then put them to cook in the saucepan of hot water, boiling water, sorry, with seasoned with salt for 12 minutes. Étape 2. Coupe 3/4 du fromage en petits dés, fais des coupeaux pour la déco et râpe le reste pour la galette. So cut up 3/4 of the cheese into small cubes and then make some shavings for the decoration and then grate the rest for the galette. Étape 3. Au terme de la cuisson des pommes de terre, égoutte-les dans un saladier. Écrase-les à la fourchette. Mélange la purée avec la crème, la farine, le fromage en cubes, le fromage râpé, les œufs, sel, poivre et réserve. Okay. So once the potatoes are cooked, drain them. A saladier is a bowl, any kind of mixing bowl, you know, that kind of thing. So it's not actually a salad dish that you put out onto a table. So drain them into a bowl and then crush them with a fork and mix this puree with the cream, the flour, the cubed cheese, the grated cheese, the eggs, the salt and pepper and put it to one side. Étape 4. Dans un saladier, dépose la roquette. Dans un petit ramequin, fouette l'huile d'olive avec le vinaigre. Coupe les tomates cerises en quartiers. So, step 4, in a bowl, put your rocket or whichever salad you like, if you're going to have salad. And then in a little ramekin or, you know, similar, whisk your olive oil with the vinegar and cut your tomatoes into quarters. Étape 5. Dans une poêle, verse un trait d'huile d'olive, laisse chauffer, puis étale la purée assaisonnée et laisse dorer 4 minutes de chaque côté sur feu moyen. So in a frying pan, just put a little bit of oil at the bottom, let it warm up, and then pour your puree in, spread it out across the pan, and leave it to go golden for 4 minutes on each side on a moderate heat. Étape 6. Dépose la galette dans une assiette avec la salade et les tomates assaisonnées de vinaigrette, parsème de coupeaux de fromage. So then put your galette onto a plate with the salad and then you can, you know, just cover it with the shavings, the cheese shavings. Fairly simple, isn't it? There's a little bit of advice here. Si tu n'as pas de roquette, tu n'aimes pas ça, tu peux la remplacer par n'importe quelle autre salade. So if you haven't got rocket or you don't like it, you can replace it by any other salad. And this is what it's supposed to look like. We'll see on the night whether they look like that. Sometimes we share the pictures on a WhatsApp group, but you don't have to. Looks quite good, nice and simple. And then the second course is the little dessert. Biscuit coulant au chocolat. So you know all those words, perhaps coulant. Coulant is kind of flowing, liquidy. So l'eau coule sur le pont. Yeah, so water flows under the bridge. And you know the coulis as well. So it's going to be some kind of liquidy kind of chocolate in this. So, temps de préparation, 10 minutes. So, time to prepare, 10 minutes. Temps de cuisson, 6 minutes. Cooking time, 6 minutes. Again, we've got ingredients for 4 people. 110 grammes de chocolat noir, dark chocolate. 110 grammes de beurre, butter. 60 grammes de farine, flour. 150 grammes de sucre, sugar. 4 œufs, 4 eggs. Beurre et farine pour le moule ou les moules individuels. So butter and flour to line the mold or the individual molds. I'm going to use a ramekin as my mold, I think, but you know, you can find the best best thing to put it in yourself. Okay, étape 1, préchauffe le four à 190 degrés, beurre et farine, les petits moules. So preheat the oven to that temperature and then line your mold, your pot. Étape 2. Dans une casserole d'eau chaude, dépose un saladier, fais fondre le beurre avec le chocolat au bain-marie. Retire le saladier de la casserole, ajoute la farine et le sucre. Voilà, mélange. Okay, so when they talk about saladier, I'm just going to remind you again, saladier, that's just a mixing bowl. So in a saucepan of hot water, so you place your mixing bowl on top, melt your butter with the chocolate in a bain-marie. Take the mixing bowl away off of the saucepan and then add your flour and your sugar and mix it together. Now, it just says down here in the section conseil, advice, tu peux aussi te servir du micro-ondes pour faire fondre le chocolat, mets ensuite le beurre dans le chocolat chaud et mélange. So you could instead, if you wanted to, use your microwave to melt your chocolate and then you put your butter into the chocolate and mix. Ou même faire fondre le chocolat avec le beurre au micro-ondes, or you could just put the chocolate and the butter together in the microwave to melt. Si tu as pris un grand plat, sers 2 cuillères de biscuits dans les assiettes à dessert. So if you've taken a big dish, put 2 spoonfuls of biscuit in les assiettes à dessert, into the dessert plates or pot that you're using. Si tu utilises un plat familial, enfonds-le 20 minutes. So if you were going to make a big tray bake of this kind of a thing, then increase the actual cooking time to reflect that. By the way, it says biscuit, and you might be thinking, so where are the biscuits then? Where's the digestives or something? I think the biscuit bit is actually just the farine and the sucre in this recipe. Okay, let's carry on. So, étape 3, bats les œufs en omelette dans un bol. Verse les petit à petit dans le mélange précédent en remuant. So, beat the eggs omelette style in a bowl and then pour them little by little into the mixture, this mixture, and keep stirring. Étape 4, dans chaque moule individuel, verse 120 grammes de pâte et enfourne pendant 6 minutes. So into each of your pots or bowls, put 120 grams of the mixture, pâte is the mixture, and put it in the oven for 6 minutes. Démoule à l'envers et remets à l'endroit dans les assiettes ou déguste directement dans les petits pots. So you can either tip it out and then put it into your plates and present it that way, or you can eat it straight out of the pot. And what will it look like? I'm not sure mine will look like this, but this is what it should look like. Very pretty. And that will be the dessert. So I really hope that you feel encouraged to come along, you feel like you're able to do it, and look forward to seeing you on Friday to have a go at cooking with Justine. Merci beaucoup.